In the depths of the unforgiving jungle, soldiers whisper a single name, the commander. To some, he is a phantom of war, appearing only at the most decisive moments. To others, he is a savior, freeing captives and turning battles when all hope seemed lost. His legend grows with every mission, his enemies unable to catch him, and his allies in awe of his courage. This is not just the story of war. It is the story of sacrifice, betrayal, and a man forced to choose between freedom and love. Before we dive deeper into this gripping journey, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of our powerful stories. Gunfire echoes through the jungle as the commander leads a daring assault on an enemy camp. Against overwhelming odds, his small unit storms the compound, blowing up bridges, destroying supplies and liberating prisoners who had lost all hope of survival. The soldiers he saves kneel before him with tears of gratitude, while his enemies are left humiliated, watching their plans collapse once again. Every victory adds to his legend, but also paints a target on his back, a target that powerful men are determined to erase. Far from the battlefield, in hidden war rooms, enemy commanders gather with frustration burning in their voices. How does he always know where to strike? They ask. Suspicion grows like a poison. Could someone within their own ranks be feeding information to the commander? Accusations fall upon one officer, a man not trusted, not considered a true believer in the cause. He is branded a traitor, accused of secretly helping the enemy. The tension rises as interrogations begin, and the enemy vows to capture the commander at any cost. But while they argue and tear themselves apart with mistrust, the commander is already planning his next move. His mind is clear. This fight is more than strategy. It is about survival. After the clash of battle, the commander returns to the quiet of his village. Yet even here, the shadows of war follow him. His wife, Cholene, is tormented by nightmares, visions of fire and screams, memories of the day her family was torn apart. She clings to him desperately, terrified that he will vanish again into the jungle, leaving her to face the ghosts alone. In her trembling voice, she pleads, "Don't leave me again, I need you." The commander holds her close, trying to calm her fears, but deep inside he knows the truth. As long as war rages, peace will never fully reach their home. He can free prisoners, he can destroy enemy bases, but can he ever heal the woman he loves from the scars of the past? One night, as the jungle hums with its restless silence, the radio crackles to life. Static breaks, and then a voice speaks a forgotten name. Cherokee, Delaware. The commander freezes. It is Patterson. Once his superior during the Vietnam War, a man he thought he would never hear from again. Patterson's words are urgent, cloaked in secrecy. He needs a meeting, he needs help, and only the commander can provide it. Old memories flood back. Blood-soaked fields, comrades lost, promises made under fire. Why now, after so many years? Why reach out through the shadows of the past? The signal is faint, but one thing is clear. Destiny is calling the commander once more. The meeting takes place in the dead of night, under the hum of helicopters and the sharp glare of searchlights. American officers sit across from the commander, offering him a mission too dangerous for anyone else: infiltrate enemy territory, steal Russian technology, and bring it back. Not sabotage, theft. The commander's eyes narrow. He has risked his life countless times, but this time he wants something in return. With a steady voice, he makes his demand. 2 passports, money, and safe passage for me and my wife. Only then will I take your mission. There is a long silence before the deal is sealed. The commander knows the stakes. If he succeeds, he gains a future. If he fails, he loses everything. As he leaves the tent, the weight of the choice presses on him. Freedom has a price, and it may be more than he can pay. Before dawn, the commander and his small team move like shadows through the jungle. Every step is measured, every sound could mean death. Ahead lies the enemy refinery, heavily guarded, impossible to approach without being seen. Yet the commander studies it with calm precision, as though the battlefield itself bends to his will. Watches are synchronized. Explosives are set in silence. Hidden caves behind waterfalls become their escape route. The air is thick with tension, but also with unshakable loyalty. His men trust him blindly, for he has led them out of death's grip before. As the first blast shakes the earth, chaos erupts. Guards scatter, alarms scream, and the commander strikes swiftly, stealing the technology he was sent to capture. But in war, every victory carries a curse, and the jungle has already chosen its price. Smoke rises above the tree line. The commander races back only to find his village in ruins. Homes burned to ashes, bodies of the innocent scattered across the ground, the laughter of children replaced by silence. Among the chaos, one truth cuts deeper than any wound. Cholin, his wife, has been taken. Witnesses whisper of Russian soldiers dragging her away, their eyes cold, their orders merciless. The commander falls to his knees, fists clenched in the dirt. He has faced warlords, armies, and torture without breaking, but the sight of his people slaughtered and his beloved stolen tears him apart. What began as a mission for survival has now become something far more dangerous, a personal war. The hunt closes in. Ambushed in the jungle, the commander is overpowered, bound, and dragged into an enemy camp. There, beneath dim lanterns and cold steel, the interrogations begin. Blows rain down, knives press against his skin. Demands echo in the darkness. Where is the stolen equipment? Admit you are an American terrorist. But the commander does not break. His silence is stronger than their chains. Even as pain rips through his body, his eyes burn with defiance. He refuses to give them satisfaction, refuses to betray his people or his mission. To the enemy, he is a man in ropes. To his allies, he is still the unshakable force they believe in. Tortured but unbroken, the commander waits for the moment when his silence will become his greatest weapon. The beatings grow worse, the torture unending. But the commander remembers the wisdom of an elder: herbs that slow the heart, roots that mimic death. Hidden in the seams of his clothing, he carries that secret. One night, after hours of merciless punishment, he bites down on the bitter root. His body collapses, limp, breath shallow, pulse fading. The guards panic. "He's dead!" and rush to call their superior. Believing their prisoner has taken poison, they drag his body aside, declaring the mission complete. But when the camp falls silent, his eyes snap open. Breath returns. The corpse rises from the dirt. Using the shadows as his shield, the commander slips past the guards, moving like a ghost reborn. His enemies think he's dead, but in truth, his war has only just begun. Under the cover of darkness, the commander reunites with his loyal brothers in arms. Their faces are battered, their bodies worn, yet their resolve burns brighter than ever. Together, they crawl through mud and vines, carrying the last of their explosives. Every step is silent, every movement a dance with death. Mines are set beneath fuel tanks, charges hidden under guard towers, detonators tucked into the heart of the enemy camp. One mistake would mean discovery, but the commander's hand never trembles. As the final charge is armed, he whispers to his men, "When this fire rises, they will know we were here." In that moment, the jungle itself seems to hold its breath, waiting for the storm of vengeance that is about to be unleashed. The night explodes with fire, towers collapse, fuel ignites, and the enemy camp is thrown into chaos. Amid the screams and gunfire, the commander charges forward, not for glory but for one reason alone: Cholin. He storms through the smoke, cutting down guards, his eyes fixed on the wooden hut where she is held. Inside, her terrified eyes meet his, hope flickering to life for the first time since she was taken. He smashes the lock, gathers her trembling body into his arms and whispers, "I came back for you." But freedom is never so simple. Alarms blare, searchlights sweep the camp, and enemy soldiers close in from every direction. The rescue has begun, but the hardest fight is still ahead. Through the smoke and chaos, a powerful figure steps forward, the Russian commander, eyes cold as steel, flanked by his armed guards. He has been waiting for this moment, not with fear, but with the confidence of a hunter who believes his prey is finally cornered. The two men lock eyes. No words of diplomacy, no false respect, only the raw hatred of enemies who know that only one can walk away alive. The Russian snarls his demand. "Where is the equipment you stole?" But the commander's answer is silence, his resolve carved deeper than any blade. This is no longer about stolen weapons or hidden technology. It is about vengeance, about love, about proving that no empire can break a man who has nothing left to lose. The jungle quiets, as if nature itself holds its breath for the clash of titans about to unfold. The commander lunges first, and the camp erupts into a storm of violence. Explosives ignite, sending towers crashing into fire. Bullets rip through the night, screams mix with the roar of collapsing structures. Soldiers scatter in panic while others charge blindly into the inferno. Through the chaos, the commander fights with unrelenting fury. Every strike, every shot is fueled by rage and love, the will to protect his wife and avenge the fallen. His men detonate charges in sequence, turning the enemy stronghold into a graveyard of steel and flames. Above it all, the Russian commander shouts orders, refusing to retreat. But the more he resists, the more his empire crumbles around him. The jungle is no longer their battleground. It has become their tomb. With the camp engulfed in flames, the commander leads his wife and surviving brothers toward the only path left, the river. Gunfire rains down from the hills, but the roar of the current drowns out everything else. Each step is a battle, each breath a prayer for survival. They stumble through smoke and mud, dragging the wounded, carrying those too weak to stand. The river glimmers ahead like a promise of freedom, but also a trap, for the enemy knows it is their only escape. As they dive into the boats, bullets tear the water around them. The commander shields Cholin with his body, his eyes fixed on the horizon. Behind them, the jungle burns. Ahead, only the river's wild current and the hope of making it out alive. Just as the boats push into the current, the thunder of rotor blades shakes the night. A military helicopter swoops down, its spotlight cutting across the river like the eye of a predator. The enemy rains down bullets, determined to end the commander's escape once and for all. The small boats toss violently as water explodes around them. The commander grabs a mounted rifle, his hands steady even as death circles overhead. With a fierce roar, he unleashes a barrage of fire, striking the chopper again and again. The sky erupts in flames as the helicopter spirals, crashing into the jungle in a storm of fire and metal. The river cheers with the sound of victory, but the commander knows this war is not yet over. The battle has only bought them a few precious moments of freedom. The escape downriver is brutal. Enemy fire echoes from the banks, and every man in the boat knows they may not all survive. Still, none hesitate, for each one has chosen this path, bound by loyalty stronger than fear. When a grenade arcs through the air, one soldier, Buffalo, throws himself over it without a second thought. The explosion tears through the night, but his sacrifice saves them all. The commander shouts his name, grief burning in his chest, but the mission cannot stop. Another brother falls, covering their flank so the boat can speed ahead. Every life given carves a scar on the commander's heart, yet it also fuels his resolve. He knows that these men did not die in vain. Their blood is the price of freedom, and he must carry that burden to the very end. The river bends into a narrow pass, and there, waiting in the shadows, are enemy boats. Betrayal has struck again. Someone leaked their escape route, and now the commander must face the ambush head-on. Gunfire erupts, echoing like thunder across the water. The commander rises, defiant, turning the boat into the line of fire. His men fight like lions, every bullet fueled by rage for the fallen, every strike driven by the vow to protect the innocent. In the midst of the chaos, the Russian commander reappears, leading the assault. Face to face once more, the two men wage their final battle. It is no longer about nations, politics, or stolen technology. It is about honor, vengeance, and the promise to bring Cholin home. The clash reaches its breaking point, and the jungle itself seems to tremble, waiting for the victor to emerge. The firefight rages until the river runs red. One by one, the enemy boats are destroyed, and at last, the Russian commander falls, consumed by the flames of his own ambition. The jungle grows quiet again, but it is not a silence of peace. It is the silence of loss. The commander holds Cholin in his arms, her tears falling into the water as she whispers his name. Around them, the few survivors sit in stunned silence, their eyes hollow from all they have given. The river carries them forward, but the faces of the fallen linger behind. Victory is theirs, yet it feels hollow. The commander knows the cost. Brothers buried in fire, innocents stolen by war, and a future forever marked by sacrifice. He has won the battle, but at a price that will haunt him for the rest of his life. As dawn breaks over the jungle, the commander stands at the river's edge, watching the light pierce through the mist. An American officer approaches quietly, holding out the promise once made. Passports, money, a way back to America, freedom. The commander looks at the papers, then at the weary faces of his people, men who lost brothers, women who lost homes, a wife who almost lost her life. His voice is calm, but unshakable. I don't need America. My place is here, with them. He turns his back on the offer, stepping into the crowd of survivors. The jungle may never give him peace, but it has given him purpose. Not as a soldier of a forgotten war, not as a mercenary chasing freedom, but as a protector of those who still believe in tomorrow. And before you leave, remember, have you liked this video, shared it with someone, and subscribed to our channel? Your support helps us bring more powerful stories like this one to life.